Chess has 3 special moves that break the normal rules. Castling lets 2 pieces move at once. Passant is a disappearing capture. And promotion turns a pawn into a queen. Let's learn all 3. Castling is the only move where you move 2 pieces at once. The king and a rook. In kingside castling, the king moves 2 squares toward the h-rook, and the rook jumps to the other side. King goes from e1 to g1, rook goes from h1 to f1. You can also castle queenside, where the king goes to c1 and the a-rook goes to d1. Castling has 4 conditions. 1. The king has never moved this game. 2. The rook you're castling with has never moved. 3. No pieces between the king and rook. 4. The king is not currently in check, and doesn't pass through or land on a square that is under attack. If all 4 conditions are met, you can castle. Passant is the trickiest rule in chess. If an opponent's pawn advances 2 squares from its starting row and lands right next to your pawn, you can capture it as if it moved only 1 square. Your pawn moves diagonally behind the enemy pawn, and that pawn is removed from the board. But here's the catch: you must capture Passant immediately on the very next move, or the option disappears forever. When a pawn reaches the 8th rank, the very last row, it must be promoted. It transforms into any piece you choose: queen, rook, bishop, or knight. Almost always, you pick the queen, because she's the most powerful piece on the board. A tiny pawn becomes the mightiest piece. Sometimes you might choose a knight for a special tactic, but that's rare. Promotion is why you should never underestimate a passed pawn. Let's recap the 3 special moves. Castling moves the king and rook at the same time, protecting your king and activating your rook. Passant lets you capture a pawn that tried to sneak past yours, but only immediately. And promotion transforms a pawn that reaches the last rank into a queen or any other piece. These 3 moves add surprise and strategy to every game of chess. Those are the 3 special moves. Castling protects your king and activates your rook. Passant prevents a pawn from sneaking past. And promotion rewards a pawn that makes it all the way across the board. You now know every rule and every special move. Next lesson, we put it all together and set up your first game.